my friends, Jacob is here once again, and I want to thank you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and all of you in the background for pressing play and for hanging out today with Ethan Mann and me. Yeah. Who are you? Tell everybody who you are.
Ethan.
Yeah. Are you excited to be here?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I haven't been in your videos in like a month.
Like a month. So he has to, he misses his screen time. So he's here to talk about the, this new thing. You ever hear of the Big Bang?
No.
You never heard of the Big Bang? That's because, I'm not really too keen on the Big Bang. I like some things that go along with the Big Bang. I like some of it, but a lot of physicists and a lot of people that study this stuff, they say that it is built on broken physics, which means that there has to be another explanation for why everything is as it is. Mm-hmm. You know the whole thing about the Big Bang, that everything started from nothing, and then it just went... and it just kept expanding and expanding, and that the universe is still going and going and going and reach farther and farther, and it keeps going until that's basically the idea. The problem is, does it ever stop? Well, a new theory, and this is not a new theory, it's been around for a little while, it's called the Big Bounce. Another word for it is the cyclical universe. It is taking, the physics world by storm, and it's changing everything. Now, this is huge, because a lot of atheists use the idea of the Big Bang as the reason that, they don't really have to believe in God, because everything was an explosion and just happened in an instant. Not ever really questioning how something like that actually started to begin with, because nothing comes from nothing. That's kind of a fact. And everything that you look at, everything around, somebody made it. It's like everything you see. So order only comes from order, not chaos. So the fact that the Big Bang, which a lot of people say is, order out of chaos, which I don't believe, the fact that that's being held up in question is something that I'm excited to talk about today with all of you, because it changes everything. So I hope that each and every one of you are
buckled up,
because the Big Bang ain't really that big of a bang anymore. So there's a crazy new twist on black holes, which basically now states that there was no Big Bang. Okay? A physicist from the University of Campinas in Brazil, Campinas, I don't know how to pronounce it, in Brazil, he's a big fan, like me, of the idea that time started from the so-called Big Bang. Instead, he imagines a collapse followed by an expansion, one that could even still carry scars from a previous universe. Let that sink in for a second, okay? What he's saying is that the universe existed already, collapsed in on itself, and then started again. And not just that, the idea of a cyclical universe, the Big Bounce theory, has been going on for a long time. It actually makes it sound like time is predetermined and there's nothing we can do about it, that we're starting from one point and we just go through this generation, if you will, and then it basically collapses in on itself and then begins the process of inflation again, kind of like through a wormhole. Now, this is really interesting with a lot of the things that we've been talking about, because we've been talking about black holes, we've been talking about other dimensions, we're talking about a lot of stuff that has to do with this idea. So now, the cool thing about the cyclical universe is that it brings into question a lot of theories, like reincarnation, which, by the way, a lot of people have been sending me email after email. They want to know my take on this. Well, I've written essays and I've written papers on this, and I'm going to do a video within the next couple of days on that topic. So is reincarnation biblical? Well, we're going to get to the bottom of that. So make sure that you're subscribed and that you check the little notification, and you remember that I'm here every single Tuesday and possibly on Friday as well. Back to this. So this idea is not new, okay? This physicist has used a 50-year-old mathematical trick describing black holes to show how our universe didn't need to start as such a compact start to begin with. Now, this theory is heralded in the book Endless Universe. So the idea doesn't basically rule out the Big Bang completely. It doesn't really rule that out. What it basically says is there's like an infinite number of these Big Bangs. About a year or so ago at the Imperial College in London, and the Perimeter Group, well, they found a solution that may prove that there is nothing new under the sun indeed. It means that everything that has been now has already been, and everything that's going on in the future has already been as well. It's kind of spooky if you think about it. It gives a whole new meaning to the verse in Ecclesiastes, there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that has been will always be. Again and again and again, and with each cycle, perhaps we reach a higher state. I don't know. I'm not saying that's the case, but I am saying this big bounce theory is kind of cool. So just think about it like this. Just as your lungs, as you're breathing, as they expand and contract as you're breathing, that's basically what's going on with everything that is the universe. That it expands out and then it collapses. And then it does this again and again an infinite amount of times. Now, does that mean that we're going through and doing the same thing over and over again? Well, I don't believe that. I believe that each life that is on the planet right now has the capacity of reaching its full potential. The problem is most people are stuck in this beast system. They don't know that there is more. And stuff like this coming out, stuff like this, knocking the Big Bang Theory out of place number one as to how everything got here, this offers more insight into an intelligent design. So imagine that. Imagine that those little deja vus that you have are because you've been there before, because all of this has happened already. And it's just happening again and again and again until we get it right. Some people will say, I'm not saying that. So what does all this mean for each and every one of you? What do you want it to mean? I'll tell you, the thing that I like about my shows the most is it's not really the topic so much, because I think it's fascinating that we can look at life and look at everything as a whole and understand that there is so much more than we've been told. To see the majesty of it all and to see that really anything is possible, especially if you think about quantum theory, which this big bounce theory is based on, is quantum mechanics and quantum laws. And you know that I'm very keen on that whole double slit experiment, which needs the person who is observing it to partake in the direction that the universe is going to go. What if each and every one of us has the potential to change things simply by how we perceive it? That there is maybe a program running, if you will, this thing called life, and that it is going on and is it expanding and expanding and expanding until it will contract down to nothing and then start all over again. And they're finding also, which is another reason why they think that this theory makes a lot more sense than the Big Bang Theory, is that they find traces of old universes. Now, we're not talking about multiple dimensions and everything else, or are we? You know, another reason why I really like this is because if you think about things, in life, we have a tendency of making the same mistake over and over and over again, right? You see this happen very often in relationships where people will break up and they'll say that that person was wrong for them, and then they'll marry almost the exact same kind of person and then be treated the exact same sort of way and then give up the exact same way they did the first time. And then again and again and again. It happens over and over again because people don't realize that cycles can be broken. Now, I know that a lot of people are going through a hard time right now, and I know that when you turn on a show like this and you're like, well, what does this big bounce mean to me? What does this cyclical universe mean to me? Well, who cares, right? Well, it is important, and the reason it's important is because it backs up the idea of intelligent design. And that means that there is something that is in charge of all of this and that everything has meaning. I come on here each week and I tell you that, your words have power, your thoughts have power, that the life that you're living right now that you may be creating, your misery you may be ignorantly creating, you may be listening to the wrong thoughts in your head, thoughts that aren't even you. It's like a record that's playing because we've all been brainwashed in this system. And you may end up in this cycle of just negativity where you're just listening to the same thoughts again and again and again. Well, it's time to break this cycle. Okay? It's time to snap out of it and realize that you are more. The very universe as it is, people say shouldn't even exist. CERN and other places are stating it shouldn't even exist. That's because it's more than just reality. And you are more than just some mindless drone who has to go to work every day and just get by. You, who you are, the very essence of you, is the same that is within me. And once you understand that, and once you understand that you have the power to choose the right thought as opposed to the left thought, the right as opposed to the wrong, the truth as opposed to the lie. That the moment that you say, hey, teach me the truth no matter what the cost. I want to know the truth. I want to live my life. And if I'm meant to inherit a kingdom, whatever that kingdom may be, Scripture says it's righteousness, peace, and joy. Peaceful life filled with joy. The joy of this is strength. That's what you want to find. You can find. And if you don't get it right this time, who knows? Maybe when we bounce back again, you will next time. I don't know. But that's what the next show is going to be about, because there's going to be a part 2 to this. And the spiritual ramifications of this are insane. I love each and every one of you. I hope that you are living beyond your wildest dreams. I hope you're picturing your life the way you want to see it. I hope when negative thoughts come to your head and you think, oh, woe is me, that you say, no, that is a lie. And you call that liar out for what it is. And you replace that thought with what you want it to be. It works. I've been using it in my life. That's what you need to know. I love each and every one of you. Please do subscribe, share it around, tell your friends, and I'll talk to you next time. Probably on Friday or so. Bye-bye.